Pappy's back this week. We're going to be working on that compressor. Ran into some problems. The new, I think I already went over this last week. The keyways were wrong, and I'm trying to come up with pulleys for it. The problem is that I've come across on these 1-inch shafts with a 1-inch bore pulley, they don't make a pulley with a 3/16 key. About the only thing I can find a 1/4 inch, but I've already got a pulley that's 5/16. I'm going to try to cut this key down. I'm going to attempt it anyway. Otherwise, I got to get a custom-made pulley. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm just going to try a die grinder, clamp this up, and I'm going to cut this down. I may have to end up hand filing or just whittling it out of there the best I can with what I've got to work with. But I want to see if I can leave one side fat, that will fit the pulley, and then cut the, halfway through, cut it down to 5/16. I'm going to use a, you know, a 4.5 inch cutoff wheel in a, grinder, kind of like what I've been doing the body work and so forth. But I've got a, a wheel I can put in it to cut with, abrasive wheel. And we're going to try that. I want to try to do it as careful as I can, and just try to cut it a little bit down each time until I get it down to the size I need. It's going to be real tedious, but I'll let this camera run while I'm trying to attempt to do this. Otherwise, I may give up. I've tried to find keyways that are made to adapt such a thing, and I'm kind of hitting, with buying a new pulley, or I just can't seem to find one that's 1 inch with a little 3/16 key. But that's the way this motor came. They both had a 3/16 key, but the other 5/8, it's not a problem. That's common, 3/16 key on a 5/8 shaft. But I guess I could have bought another motor. I was just trying to reuse what I had. So I measured the shaft diameters, and I just got 2 motors like that. Others trying to send it back and pay all the freight both ways, because they give you a deal when you buy these things. The freight's, reasonable. But when you have to ship something this heavy back, and then have to ship it back again, I'll be paying freight both ways. It's better just to, even if I have to get a custom pulley made, that might be cheaper than trying to send this motor back and get one I can use I don't know. I'm going to attempt this first before I give up on it and go from there. I'm just running my mouth, so let me get to it. That seems to be what I do best. But I'm going to get to it and just watch me work. We'll go cool this off. I may have cut too much off. May have to get another key. I'm gonna have to get another key. I don't like that one. It's fitting sloppy now. I cut too much off. I'm just trying to guess at it. It's kind of a crude way to do it. I hope somebody knows where I could get these, but everybody looks at me like I got two heads when I go to the hardware stores and stuff and ask for it, and they don't know. I've even tried to look online. I can't find such a thing either. I don't know. I figured it would. I'm not going to say it's common, but I figured somebody would make that. I might just not know where to look. But Google can't seem to find it for me. Let's see if we can get the other pulley to work. At least get something done today. Let's get the other motor and I'll bring it in. This is supposed to fit. I was able to buy a pulley. I was able to buy this pulley from the, I think it was Tractor Supply, or it might have been, I don't know, it might have been Ace Hardware. I can't remember. I think it was Ace Hardware. I just need to back up on that set screw. She fits pretty snug. May have to polish that down a little bit, or hone this out a little. It should go on a little easier than that, I would think, since it has a keyway. But let me see. And that's just going to be a tight fit, but it's going to go. All right, let's put the keyway in there. See if we can tap her home. Let's see, I'm going to put the set screw on the inside. Guess it doesn't really matter. It's a motor I can move back and forth to for belt alignment, as well as the pulley can be slid. That keyway out there, we'll try to drive it in from the front. Help line everything up. There we go. socket. Alright, that's on there. Nice tight fit, but it's on there. Well, that's one down. At least the other one, we'll have to see what we can do. We'll move on to wiring this one up and see if it'll run. Make sure we don't have any problem with the switches on the compressor. All right. Well, I got a couple of keyways. I'm going to give that a try. Get back to this one, see if we can try it again. Maybe have better luck at cutting this one down. Still not able to find one that I need, the width I need. Try to do it. It's hard to measure that and scribe it. I got to just use my eye best I can. Go from there. Let's see. Let's get more of it in the vise. Can always come back and take some off. Once it's off, it's ruined, as we just found out. Let's eyeball that and see. I cut across. Yep. Got to go about halfway down now. That'll fit. How deep is it in that pulley? Let's look at that. Yeah, at least 50%. So I got to cut it. One side's got to be cut half and half for the depth. Yeah, that's going to work right there, I think. Yeah. All right, see if we can tighten her up. I'll go a little slower this time. Okay, that ought to get the depth right. Now I just got to come back and cut that off. Yeah, a little bit more. I knew of a machine shop. I'm sure they could chuck this up or make me a keyway. Right now, I don't have one I use that's anywhere near me. It's been a while, let's just say. I guess in a way, this is a crude way of machining it, but I guess it's better than trying to use a saw or something. I guess people do use what you got. Keep my fingers crossed. I hope it'll work. It's a little, I have to do a little bit more grinding, but I think it's a lot better than the other one. Let's see if it'll tap down in there. Well, might be on to something. Yeah. Of course, I'll have to trim off part of it. That'll be all right. It's still warm. Let's see if we can slide this up on there. Start that keyway. It's hard to show on camera exactly what I'm talking about. I think you got a general idea. See, I'm hold it up there. See that notch? I wish somebody made a keyway like that. You know, just a selection where you can order it. I'm sure somebody probably does. I just didn't see it on Google. You know, I mean, I don't know where else to go. You go to a hardware store or something, everybody looks at you like you got two heads. I don't want to damage the bearings hammering on it either. Light little taps. It's going. That's pretty good. Wonder how deep that keyway went. You see if we grab it back in there some. I want to drive it to the back of the pulley anyway. Then I'll round it off later once I'm sure this thing runs and everything. Okay. I'm going to call that like I see it. I think it'll work. I'll just run that set screw down on there. Go from there. It's got some run out to it. I don't even think that's a 1-inch shaft. That's supposed to be a 1-inch shaft. Huh. Well, that's crazy. Let me measure that. I just assumed it was. That's what it said it was. Might be some metric. That is not. That is not a 1-inch shaft. Check my old one over here. Definitely different. Yeah, the shaft coming out, it stepped down. I believe that might be a 7/8. I might have to just order a pulley. Maybe I can get a pulley that'll I don't like the way that fits. It's got run out because it's not fitting the shaft correctly. I ain't going to let that go. I guess that's what I get for assuming. I guess you should measure everything when you get it. Looks like it's about 875, so that would be 7/8. Yep, I got me a 7/8 shaft. That might be able to get a pulley. I'm going to leave that be for now. I'm going to have to do more research, it looks like. We'll see what we can come up with. I'll get back to this when I figure it out. This is part of it. This is what you do when you... It's hard to find parts. And when you do, you're waiting on them. I'll show you that picture. The story of my life. Forever waiting on parts.